अच्छा, और स्क्रीन पे शेयर नहीं किया है। Yes, is the whiteboard visible on screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's start discussing the first method, Gauss-Jacobi. And to understand Gauss-Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel, first we should be clear about this term, diagonally dominant system. Why we should be clear about this term? Because Gauss-Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel, these two methods will work properly if and only if this condition of diagonally dominance is satisfied. If this condition is satisfied, then only then your both the methods will work properly. Now, I think this condition or this definition we have already seen in our first session or second session. So can anyone tell me what was this condition or what was this definition? Diagonal dominant system. Can anyone tell me? Anyone?
Sir, the diagonal element in a row, its
Okay.
value is greater than, its absolute value is greater than the sum of all other elements in that row.
Correct. And if my system is this A11 x1 plus A12 x2 plus up to A1n xn is equal to, let's say, B1, then my second equation is A21 x1 plus A22 x2 plus up to A2n xn is equal to B2. Similarly, third equation, fourth equation up to, this is my nth equation, A n1 x1 plus A n2 x2 plus up to A nn xn is equal to Bn, right? So this is a general system of linear equation with n equations and n variables. Now, what is diagonally dominance? This condition states that whatever your diagonal entry is there in your equation, that diagonal entry, sorry, the absolute value of your diagonal entry should be greater than or equal to the sum of all the other coefficients except your diagonal. So modulus of A12 plus modulus of A13 plus up to modulus of A1n, right? How many coefficients we have in the first equation? A11, A12, A13 up to A1n. So except the diagonal entry, all you need to add all the other elements, and then you need to take the total, and that total should be less than or equal to your diagonal value, right? Or in other words, your diagonal value should be greater than or equal to the total of remaining values. अगर हम इसको जनरल में लिखने की कोशिश करें, in general it should be A11 is greater than or equal to, it is summation. Now as you can see, your first row is fixed, one is not changing, the column value is changing. So let me take j equal to 1 to n, where j is not equal to 1, क्योंकि a11 हम लोग नहीं ले रहे हैं यहाँ पर, and modulus of a1j, right? So this is actually general form of the whole total. ये total हम जो ले रहे हैं उसको हम इस तरह से लिख सकते हैं summation में. Similarly, if I want to write it for second equation, in second equation your diagonal entry is a22. Now what are the other coefficients except diagonal? Other coefficients are a21 plus a22 plus a23, sorry, not a22, we don't need to consider a22, a23, a24 up to a2n. Now again, if I try to write this thing in general, it should be summation j equal to 1 to n. Now here this time j cannot be 2 because diagonal entry 2 2 we are not considering, and I need to write here a 2 and j. Similarly, for third equation I should get modulus of a33 greater than or equal to summation j equal to 1 to n. Now j cannot be 3, and I should write modulus of a 3j. Right? So this way I can write general form for each and every equation. Now can anyone tell me, if I want to write for more general form aii, then how should I write it? Instead of using 1, 2, 3, if I use I, then what should be my right hand side here? It is summation.
Summation I equal to 1 to n.
Okay, j equal to 1 to n. Then I should write here j not equal to I.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Then
And
modulus of
Aij.
aij. Right? So this is the general form of the condition diagonal dominance. If this condition is satisfied, then we say that your equation is in diagonally dominant form. For example, let's say if my equations are 2x plus 7y plus z is equal to 19, then I have x minus 3y plus 12z is equal to 31. Then I have 4x plus y minus z is equal to 3. So I have a simple 3 by 3 system, 3 equations and 3 unknown. Now can anyone tell me whether this system is in diagonally dominant form or not? Is it in diagonal dominant form? Let's try to check it. Let's start with equation number 1. In equation number 1, what is your diagonal entry? It is 2. So modulus 2. And what are the other coefficients? Other coefficients are modulus 7 and modulus 1. Okay. So modulus 2, what is the total of these two values? Total of these two values are modulus 8. Now, do you think modulus 2 is greater than or equal to modulus 8?
No, sir.
No, right? That means the condition of diagonal dominance is not satisfied here. And that means this system is not in diagonally dominant form. That means we cannot apply Gauss-Jacobian, Gauss-Seidel method for this system. So what to do in this case? In this case, the first option is we can interchange the equations and we can try to make it diagonally dominant. Now, as you can see, what is the largest value in the first equation?
7.
It is 7, right? So in which equation the second value is the diagonal entry? It is in second equation, right? So what we can do, we can make this equation as second equation because the second entry is the highest value. Similarly, in this second equation, which is the highest entry?
12.
12, right? 12 is the highest value. So 12 is the third value here. So we can make this equation as our third equation. And in the first equation, which is the highest value, first one. So we can make this one as first. So if we rearrange our system, then after rearranging, your system will look like this. 4x plus y minus z is equal to 3. Then we have second equation 2x plus 7y plus z is equal to 19. And then we have x minus 3y plus 12z is equal to 31. Now let's try to check whether this system is diagonally dominant or not. Let's check it for equation 1. Now equation 1, what is your diagonal value? It is 4. So we need to take modulus 4. And what are the other two values? It is modulus 1 plus modulus of minus 1. Right? Now modulus 1 plus modulus of minus 1, this is equal to 2, right? And we know that modulus of 4 is greater than or equal to 2. That means the condition of diagonal dominance is satisfied for the first equation. Right? But we can only apply Gauss-Jacobian, Gauss-Seidel if it is satisfied for all the equation, not only for the first. So we need to check it for second and third equation also. सबके लिए satisfy होना चाहिए. So let's check it for equation 2 and equation 3 as well. So for equation 2, what is your diagonal entry? Now your diagonal entry is 7 here. So modulus of 7. Now what are the other values? Other values are modulus of 2 and modulus of 1. So the total is 3 here. So it is clear that modulus of 7 is greater than or equal to 3. So the condition is satisfied for the second equation also. And similarly for third one. In third one, the diagonal entry is modulus 12 Other two entries are modulus 1 and modulus minus 3. So 3 plus 1, the total is 4. And obviously modulus 12 is greater than or equal to 4. So now in all three equations, the condition of diagonal dominance is satisfied. That means now our system is eligible for applying Gauss-Jacobi or Gauss-Seidel method. Right? So try to remember this thing. You can apply Gauss-Jacobian Gauss-Seidel method if and only if your system is diagonally dominant. That means it has to satisfy this condition. Right? This is the general form of diagonal dominance. This is the general form of diagonal dominance. If this is satisfied, then and only then we can apply Gauss-Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel method. Right? So this is our first step. जब भी कोई system आपको दिया जाएगा, right? For that system, you need to check this condition. If it is satisfied, then you go for Gauss-Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel. Otherwise, try to rearrange your equations first. Right? Try to check whether it is diagonal dominant or not. Even after rearranging, if it is not possible, then we cannot apply Gauss-Jacobi or Gauss-Seidel. Then we should look for any other method for solving that system. Right? For Gauss-Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel, this condition is must. Right? This condition has to be there. Right? So this was your first part, diagonal dominance. Then, if your system is diagonal dominant, then what are the next steps? Let me explain. For a diagonally dominant system, Gauss-Jacobi method follows as below. Right. Now let me explain the method by using three general equations. Let me take three equations here. A11 x1 plus A12 x2 plus A13 x3 is equal to B1. Right? It's not necessary that you should have only three equations and three unknowns. You can have 4 variables, 5 variables, or n variables. Right? But since I'm explaining the method in general, right, I'm using just 3 variables just for convenience. So it would take less time for writing. That's why I'm not taking the whole n equations here. The process will be same for n variables, or you are taking 3 variables. Process will not change. So it is A21 x1 plus A22 x2 plus A23 x3 is equal to B2. Then A31 x1 plus A32 x2 plus A33 x3 is equal to B3. Right? So this is our system with 3 equations and 3 unknowns. And we are assuming that it is diagonally dominant. Now what is our step 1 when you apply Gauss-Jacobi? In step 1, you need to create 3 equations. And how you need to create those 3 equations? From first equation, let's say this is equation 1, this is equation 2, equation 3. From first equation, you need to make first variable as subject of the equation. Right? That means from the first equation, I need to make x1 as the subject of my equation. So I need to write x1 is equal to, now what are the other terms except x1? A12 x2 and A13 x3. So I need to transfer them on the other side. So it will be B1 minus A12 x2 plus A13 x3. Right? And also I need to divide by A11. So I will divide this by A11. Right? So with the help of first equation, I got my first formula for the variable x1. Right? पहले variable x1 के लिए एक पूरा formula बन गया from the first equation. Similarly, from the second equation, we will make one formula for x2. तो जैसे इसमें किया वैसे ही we need to make x2 as the subject. Yeah, sorry, it should be minus there. Thank you for the correction. It should be minus here. And similarly, for the second equation, I'm making x2 as my subject. So it is B2 minus A21 x1, then minus A23 x3 divided by A22. Right? So Remember this thing, diagonal value will always be in the denominator. We always have to divide with diagonal values. So x3 is equal to, it is b3 minus a31 x1 minus a32 x2 divided by a33, right? So this way I have created three formulas for x1, x2 and x3. इसी तरह से अगर n variables होते हैं, then we can create n formulas here with the help of n equations, right? So process of creating formula will be same whether you have 3 equations or 4 equations or n equations. Now what is next step after this? Now these three formulas are iterative formula. Now what you need to do here, take I plus 1 here, then take I and I, right? I represents the current value and I plus 1 represents the value of next step. Similarly, I plus 1 here, I plus 1 here, I here, I and I. Right? Now these formulas, they are in iterative form. Now let me explain how you need to use these formulas. For this, you need to create a table, right? For table, first we'll write here iteration number, then let's create. The next column will be for x1, then for x2, and then for x3. If you have 3 variables, you will have 3 columns. If there are 4 variables, 4 columns will be there like this. And one more thing, for this iterative method, we also need to take the help of calculator, because without calculator, it's not possible to execute this. Either you have to use calculator if you are doing it manually, or you need to make a program, C program, or maybe by any other method, any other language, right? So computer will do the calculation part for you. But currently, since we are getting the idea about the method, we need to use calculator here. So that part I'm leaving on you. If you have a calculator, then please get it. अगर आपके पास calculator है तो please अपने साथ रखो. You need to do some calculations and you need to provide me values. So I'm giving you 2 minutes. Please get the calculator if you have, quickly. Yes, have you got the calculator? I think if 4 to 5 students have calculator, that's also fine. We just need the values. And I hope you know how to use scientific calculator. I think you are using it for last 3 semesters. Okay, so I think few students got the calculator. Let's move to our first iteration. So what you need to do here, for first we'll write here iteration number 0. And for 0 iteration, all 3 values will be 0. At the initial value or starting value for all 3 variables will be 0. Now we'll have iteration number 1. Right? This is your I. Iteration number is represented by I. Now,
सर इटरेशन वैल्यू 0 लेंगे तो x1 की वैल्यू ऊपर I plus 1 है ना,
हाँ,
तो वो 1 नहीं होगी.
1 नहीं, I की वैल्यू हम 0 लेंगे तो वो x1 होगा, वो हमारी फर्स्ट वैल्यू होगी, वो हम लोग यहाँ पर कैलकुलेट करेंगे इटरेशन 1 में. Right? So first what will happen when I take I equal to 0 here, I equal to 0 अगर लूंगा तो क्या होगा, from equation 1. In equation 1 I have x1, then 0 plus 1 will be 1. That means this is my value of first iteration. So this is equal to, I have b1 minus then a12 x2, but my x2 0, right? For 0 iteration, my x2 value is 0, so this is 0 minus again this value is 0 divided by a11, right? So this b1 upon a11 is my first value, b1 upon a11. Similarly, in second equation also, if I take x1 and x3 equal to 0, I will get b2 upon a22, and similarly I will get b3 upon a33, right? So this is my first approximation to the solution. ये पहला approximation है solution का. Then in the second iteration I need to take I equal to 1. तो जब मैं I equal to 1 लूंगा यहाँ पर, तो मुझे क्या वैल्यू मिलेगी? सेकंड इटरेशन की वैल्यू. Now for that it will be like this: b1 minus a12 x2 power 1. x2 power 1 means it is the value of x2 from the first iteration. Now what is the value of x2 from the first iteration? It is this one, right? ये value आपको लेनी है. Similarly, the value of x3 from the first iteration is this one, right? So to get the value of second iteration, we will use the value from previous iteration. For the second iteration, we will use the value of first iteration. For the third value, we will use the value of second iteration. For the fourth, we will use the value of third iteration. So your new values are calculated with the help of old values. So this thing will repeat again and again in every iteration, right? So with the help of these old values of x2 and x3, we will get new value of x1 here, right? New x1. Then with the help of old x1 and x3, we'll get value of new x2 here. Then with the help of old x1 and x2, we'll get the value of new x3 here, right? And now same thing or same process will repeat in the third iteration, right? So इस तरह से iteration by iteration will get the better and better value. The more iterations you perform, your values will be more better and better, right? Maybe this process will be more clear to you if we take one example. So let's try to understand this thing by example. Let's take first example, which will solve by Gauss-Jacobi method. Example 1, solve following system by Gauss-Jacobi. Right? And let's try to use a simple system with only two equations and two variables. So my first equation is 2x plus y is equal to 16, and my second equation is 3x plus y is equal to 11, right? So it's a simple 2 by 2 system. Now, can anyone tell me whether this system is diagonally dominant or not? Is it diagonally dominant?
No, sir.
No, sir.
See, for first equation, the condition is satisfied. Modulus of 2 is greater than modulus of 1. But in the second equation is not satisfied. Right? Here we have 3 and here we have 1. That means we need to rearrange our equations. So after rearranging, what is your new system? It is 3x plus y is equal to 11. And then we have 2x plus y is equal to 16. I think in that case also it won't be possible. Okay, I have made a mistake here. We have 2x plus 5y here. 5 लिखना भूल गया था मैं. So I think if 5 is there, still we need to rearrange it. So it is 2x plus 5y is equal to 16. Right? Now your system is having diagonally dominant form. So diagonal dominance condition is satisfied. Now our step number 1, we need to make formula for x and y. So for x, we will use equation 1, and for y, we will use equation 2. So from equation 1, what should be my formula for x? I need to make x as the subject of equation. So it will be 11 minus y divided by 3, because my a11 value is 3. Let's say this is equation 1. Then from second, it is y is equal to, now what is formula for y? It is 16 minus 2x divided by diagonal value is 5. This is my equation 2. Right? So both the formulas are created. Now I need to create table for iterations. So first there will be iteration number I. Then there will be a column for X. And there will be a column for Y. Right? Now we know that the starting value we have to take 0. Right? Initial value हमको क्या लेना है 0. तो वो आप लोग चाहो तो iteration में यहाँ पर mention भी कर सकते हो that for I equal to 0 the X and Y values are 0. And if you don't want to mention that, you can directly start from iteration 1 also. Right? No issue with that. Let's say iteration 1, and we can mention the thing here that X 0 is equal to 0 and Y0 is equal to 0. Right? These are called initial values. Right? In Jacobian Gauss-Seidel, the initial values are always 0. Initial value हमको always 0 ही लेना है. So now let's put I plus 1 here, so it would be easy to understand. Now for the first iteration, I need to take I equal to 0, so it will give me X1 and Y1. So for that I have 11 minus Y0, but Y0 is 0. Right? So my calculation will be like this: X1 is equal to 11 minus Y0 value is 0 because initial value is 0 divided by 3. So now with the help of calculator, tell me what is 11 by 3. Right? You need to post the value in chat box, and whatever decimals you have, you try to keep maximum up to 6 or 7 decimals. कि कम डेसिमल यूज करोगे तो एक्यूरेसी भी कम हो जाएगी. टेल मी व्हाट इज वैल्यू ऑफ 11 by 3. Okay, so it is 3.66667. Let's use up to 6 digits. Right? Now we need to calculate the value of y. So what is formula for y? Y1 is equal to, it is 16 minus x0, but again x0 value is also 0. Then we have to divide it by 5. So we have 16 divided by 5. What is 16 by 5? 3.2. Right? So 3.2. Now this is my first approximation for the solution. ये solution का पहला approximation है. Right? It is not the exact solution. It is approximate value of your solution. Now let's make it more better from the second iteration. So second iteration में क्या करना है? For second iteration I need to take I equal to 1. So if I take I equal to 1, then my first equation will be X2 is equal to 11 minus Y1 divided by 3, and my Y2 will be 16 minus X1 divided by 5. Now this X1 and Y1 we already have available here, the value of the first iteration. So it should be X2 is equal to 11 minus, what is my Y1? Y1 is 3.2, then divided by 3. And similarly for the Y2, I have 16 minus X1 value is 3.6667 divided by 5. So use the calculator and tell me what is my X2 and Y2. You need to calculate 11 minus 3.2 and then you divide by 3. That should be your second value for X, second iteration value for X. Okay, Nidhi says it is 2.6.
Sir, shouldn't it be 2x instead of 3.2? Like 2 into 3.2 nahi hoga, sir?
Yeah, that's my mistake. 2x. So you need to multiply this value by 2 also. Then
Yes,
you calculate
3.2.
your, yeah. So tell me what is X2 value? Nidhi says X2 is 2.6. What about others? Everybody is getting 2.6 for X. Well, Priyank has something different. 9.933. Priyank, ये कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं हो गया बड़ा value? Raj says 0.333. Okay, Raj says 2.6 now. Okay, so I think majority is with 2.6. Let's keep it 2.6 here. And now tell me what is value for y. For y, you need to take 16 minus 2 times 3.6667. And then whatever answer you have, you divide it by 5. And tell me what is the value. Okay, Nidhi says it is 1.7333. How many times 3 we have? 5 times 3.
So 5 times 3.
Yes, right. So this is our value in the second iteration. So I think after first and second iteration, now the process is clear to everyone, right? So equations are there on your screen, right? What you need to do, you need to put previous value in the equation, and using that you need to get the new values. So now if the process is clear to everyone, then can anyone tell me what are the new values in third iteration? Now what you need to do, put that y2 here. y2 use karo and you will get x3. x2 use karo and you will get y3. So using equation 1 and 2, please tell me what are the values of x3 and y3. The general equations are already there on your screen. What you need to do is you need to put older values of previous iteration in that equation 1 and 2, and that will give you your next value. So for the first equation, what you need to do, you need to take 11 minus y2. y2 is 1.73332, and then whatever total you have, you divide it by 3. That should be your x3. So if you get your x3 and y3, then please post in the chat box so I can write it here. Okay, Raj says it is 3.0. We have 5 times 8. Then we have 933. Let's keep up to 9. So this is the next x value. Now tell me what is next y value. Okay, Nidhi says next y value is 2.16. Okay, what about others? Others have same values like Nidhi or anything else? सबको 2.16 मिल रहा है y के लिए? Okay, Raj is also getting 2.16, so it is 2.16. Right, so this is our third iteration. Now similarly, we should go for fourth iteration, fifth iteration. Now you might be wondering when this process will stop. So for to stop this process, we need to check the decimal accuracy. Right? Once you will start doing your iterations, your value will be better and better. So after decimal, you will get some common points. Like in x value, you could get 3 point something, 3.27 or 37. जैसे जैसे वो digit same आना start हो जाते हैं, right? We will stop that process. If we are looking for 2 decimal accuracy, then if after decimal point, if 2 digits are same, we'll stop the process. If we are looking for 3 decimal accuracy, we'll look for 3 same digits after the decimal in current iteration and in previous iteration. So as per this condition, I think there is 0 decimal accuracy currently. We don't have any accuracy till iteration number 3. So let's move to fourth iteration. And in fourth iteration, tell me what is x value and y value. Okay, Nidhi says for x it is 2.94667. And for y, Nidhi says it is 1.964444. Right? So this is the value in fourth iteration. Similarly, try to do it for fifth iteration also. Let me scroll the whiteboard. I have written the equations here just for your reference. The equations are already here. Once you get the value of fifth iteration, please post it here. Okay, Nidhi, is it the value of fifth iteration, 3.011? Okay, so the x value for fifth iteration is 3.011852. And what is the y value in fifth iteration? See, I request all of you to perform these iterations, because then only the process will be clear to everyone. If you have scientific calculator, please use it and see how the values are coming. Okay, so it is 2.414224. And there are some shortcut trick also available in your calculator. You can use it. For example, let's say if you have calculated the y value at last, सबसे पहले अगर आपने y का value calculate किया है last में y5, so जो भी value आपने last में calculate किया होगा, that value will be stored in the answer key of your calculator. And in your calculator you have facility of answer key. तो आपको पता है कि यही value आपको next iteration में use करनी है for x6. So what you need to do, x6 is equal to, you directly take 11 minus answer divided by 3, right? So because of this, you don't need to type the value again. Right? So use that answer key facility. It will save your time. Yes, has anyone got value of sixth iteration? Okay, sixth iteration, Nidhi says it is 2.861925.867. Let's wait for y also. See, and one more thing, Gauss-Jacobi method is comparatively slower than Gauss-Seidel. If the same example, if you try to perform by Gauss-Seidel, then maybe by half number of iterations, you will get your correct answer or the decimal accuracy which you desire. So whenever there is any system of linear equation, and if you want to solve it by Gauss-Jacobi or Gauss-Seidel method, then our first preference should be Gauss-Seidel, not Gauss-Jacobi, because Gauss-Jacobi is very slower compared to Gauss-Seidel. I will also tell you why it is slower than Gauss-Seidel when I'll explain you the second method, Gauss-Seidel. At that time, I'll explain you why it is faster than the Gauss-Jacobi. Okay, Nidhi got the value of y also. It is 1.995259. Now let's perform one more iteration, seventh. After that, we'll stop. Let's not waste much time here, because the same example will also perform by Gauss-Seidel. At that time, it will be clear. So one more iteration, please give me the values, then we'll stop. Okay, Nidhi got the value here, 3.001580267. And also tell me what is the value of y in seventh iteration. Okay, Raj got that value. It is 2.0 0 55 22 96 53, right? So these values we got after 7 iterations. If you perform the iterations further, then these values will converge to this one. Let me give you the answer. After several iterations, your x will converge to this. It is 3.000018, something like this, and y equal to 1.999989. And that means your x value is actually going near and near to 3, and your y value is going near and near to 2. That means your solutions are x equal to 3 and y equal to 2, right? कुछ इटरेशन परफॉर्म करने के बाद आपके वैल्यूज जो है वो 3 और 2 को कन्वर्ज करेंगे. एंड इवन यू कैन वेरीफाई दिस थिंग फ्रॉम योर equations also. If you substitute x equal to 2, sorry, x equal to 3 and y equal to 2 here, then your both equations will satisfy. That means it's the solution for this system. And the method which we have used is Gauss-Jacobi. So after this, we'll discuss the second method, which is similar kind of method, but it has one minor correction. The way we are creating the formulas for x and y, that process is different in Gauss-Seidel, and because of that process, it is more faster than Gauss-Jacobi, right? So I'll explain you that part when we'll discuss that method. I think we don't have much time left
So,
to
sir,
discuss the whole method today. Yeah, who's this?
sir, I'm having a doubt.
Yeah, please go on.
सर i की वैल्यू 0 के लिए एक बार बताओ ना वापस.
I की वैल्यू 0 के लिए, okay. See, when you create these equations, equation 1 and 2, right? So if you take I equal to 0 in this, what will happen? If you take I equal to 0 in equation 1 and 2, then your equations are like this. It is x1 is equal to 11 minus y0 divided by 3, and y1 is equal to 16 minus 2x0 divided by 5, right? So these are your values of first iteration. x1 और y1 का मतलब क्या है कि वो आपके पहले इटरेशन के पहले अप्रोक्सीमेशंस हैं. बट x1 और y1 कैलकुलेट करने के लिए हम लोग कौन सी वैल्यू यूज कर रहे हैं? x0 and y0. Now what is x0 and y0? x0 and y0, they are called initial values. हमको x और y के कुछ ना कुछ वैल्यू लेके तो स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा, राइट? So in Gauss-Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel, these initial values are always 0. ये x0 और y0 का वैल्यू ऑलवेज हमको क्या कंसीडर करना है? 0. अगर मान लो हमारे पास 3 वेरिएबल होते, देन x0, y0, z0, ऑल 3 वैल्यूज विल बी 0. अगर 4 वेरिएबल होते, x1, x2, x3, x4, so x1 0, x2 0, x3 0 and x4 0, all 4 values will be 0. So the starting value or initial values are always 0 in Gauss-Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel. They are called initial values. यही तुम्हारा डाउट था, और इज देयर एनीथिंग एल्स?
नो सर, यस, यही था. थैंक यू सर.
Right, so this is your first iterative method for solving system of linear equation, Gauss-Jacobi, right? After that, we'll also discuss the second method, Gauss-Seidel, which is more faster than Gauss-Jacobi, right? So whenever we need to use iterative method, our first preference should be Gauss-Seidel, not Gauss-Jacobi. But since Gauss-Seidel is developed from Gauss-Jacobi itself, पहले Gauss-Jacobi develop हुआ था, उसको modify करके फिर Gauss-Seidel बना. And that's why we need to understand the first part, Gauss-Jacobi, then we can go for Gauss-Seidel. So I think the second method, Gauss-Seidel, will discuss in the next session. Right? Same यही example के लिए फिर से repeat करेंगे. We'll try to understand the difference between these two methods, right? And then I'll give you more examples in PPT. Gauss-Seidel के लिए भी पहले हम लोग एक example करेंगे on whiteboard, and then for other examples we'll use the PPT, right? I think that would be better. Okay, so before we go for attendance, is there any doubt in Gauss-Jacobi method? Whatever discussion we had today, is there any doubt in any of the point? Then please let me know.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, we need to see that programs.
Yeah, actually we have last
Actually,
5
you were
minutes now.
doing this.
Okay,
Sir,
no,
you
बीच
were
में
doing
माइक
this, so
अनम्यूट
I.
करके बोल देते. Okay, no problem. Let me show you
सर
quickly in
फिर वो
5
फ्लो
minutes.
बिगड़ जाता.
Okay, okay, no problem. Okay, let me stop this whiteboard here. Let's also stop recording.